My dad can buy you. The words arrive before the case is alike, absolutely called Aiden Victor Roth, 18 years old, speaks them casually, about bored, as if he's ordering coffee. Adjudicator Frank Caprio sets his pen down. Mr. Roth, you're addressing a cloister of law. That statement is now on the record. Do you understand what that means? I understand my ancestor owns bisected this city. Your father owns property. He does not own this bench. Sit down, Aiden shrugs. His attorney, or rather the advocate his father sent, stands quickly. Your Honor, my applicant is adolescent and counselor. Your client aloof fabricated an account that undermines the candor of this proceeding. We'll abode that. First, let's authorize the facts. Miss Lewis, call the case. The agent stands. Case number 2025 TR 47286. Commonwealth against Aiden Victor Roth. Charges: dispatch 68 afar per hour, inaposted 35 Petrus, Curiti Manip Academy area during active hours. Adventuresome operation. Abortion to be a allowable order. Caprio looks at Aiden. Afore we call the audio, acquaint us where you're watching from and subscribe to adjustment in the court. This alone gets more uncomfortable. The advocate tries again. Your Honor, we're able to pay the fines and boldness this amount today. Counselor, this cloister is not a payment portal. Your applicant was clocked at nearly bifold the acceleration absolute in an active academy zone, where activity tore review the evidence. Administrator Rodriguez, please booty the stand. Administrator Thomas Rodriguez, accomplish forward, raises his right hand and swears in. Officer Rodriguez, amuse apprehend your incident narrative into the record. Yes, Your Honor. On Tuesday, October 15th, at 8:47 a.m., I was administering acceleration enforcement on Elmwood Avenue abreast Carver Elementary School. The academy area was active beacon flashing. Acceleration absolute bargain 235 mph. Using LiDAR, I clocked a black sports auto traveling westbound at 68 mph. I activated my lights and siren. The agent did not stop immediately. It continued for about 2 blocks before affairs into a parking lot. When I approached the driver, later identified as Aiden Roth, I requested his authorization and registration. He stated, "Call my advocate first." I explained that was not how cartage stops work. Hesitated, "Do you apperceive who pays your salary?" I issued citations for speeding, adventuresome operation, and failure to obey. Caprio makes a note. Officer Rodriguez, you acquire burr cam and body cam footage of this stop, correct? Yes, Your Honor. Play the anatomy cum audio. Aloof the accordant exchange. A brief hiss, a fresh Aiden's voice, sharp and dismissive. Do you apperceive who pays your salary? Caprio lets the blackout sit for a moment. Mr. Roth, did you make that account to Administrator Rodriguez? Yeah, so what? So ambience matters. Officer Rodriguez was assuming his duties. You attempted to alarm him by invoking banking authority? Speed is physics, not privilege. Caprio turns to the clerk. Miss Lewis, were there any contacts to this cloister apropos this case above mentioned to today's hearing? The clerk flips through a log. Yes, Your Honor, 2 admission calls and 1 voicemail, all from a cardinal registered to Roth Capital Group. Acknowledged counsel. Timestamps. First alarm at 9:23 a.m. Second alarm at 9:41 a.m. Voicemail larboard at 9:58 a.m. Play the voicemail. A professional measured articulation fills the courtroom. This is calling on account of Victor Roth regarding case 2025. TR 47286. We'd like to altercate a quiet resolution before the amount gained to hearing. Please acknowledgement this alarm at your earliest convenience. The advocate stands. Your Honor, my applicant is not amenable for calls fabricated by his father's office. This is prejudicial, overruled. Pressures on process accord on the record. I'm documenting facts. Counselor, not speculating. Miss Lewis, timeline the contacts. Yes, Your Honor. Carthage stop at 8:47 a.m. Aboriginal alarm from Roth Capital acknowledged at 9:23 a.m. That's 36 minutes afterwards, the stop. Caprio looks at Aiden. Mr. Roth, did you acquaintance your father afterwards, the stop? I texted him, Miss Lewis, do we acquire that argument in evidence? Yes, Your Honor. Screenshot submitted by Administrator Rodriguez recovered during the stop with consent. Argument from defendant to acquaintance labeled dad.timestamp 92 a.m. got cited. He'll make calls. Don't diaphoresis it. Caprio reads the text. Expectation of accomplishment is not ad offense, Mr. Roth. Miss Lewis, does Mr. Roth acquire above-mentioned Carthage citations on record? Yes, Your Honor. 3 prior speeding citations in the accomplished 18 months, all apparent bound by counsel. No claimed appearances by the defendant. Caprio looks at Aiden. You've been cited 3 times in 18 months, and you've never appeared in court personally. Is that correct? My lawyer handles it. Your advocate pays your fines. That's not the aforementioned as accountability, Mr. Roth. Do you acquire that school zones abide to assure children? I guess you guess. Administrator Rodriguez, were children present during the stop? Yes, Your Honor. Bridge bouncer was posted. Approximately 20 acceptants were crossing Elmwood at the time. Mr. Roth, you were driving 68 maybe accomplished 20 academy children. Do you acquire the endlessly distance at that speed? Aiden shrugs. I stopped fine. You chock-full 2 blocks afterwards, the officer activated his lights. That's not fine. That's defiance. Caprio leans forward. Mr. Roth, I appetite to acknowledgement to your aperture statement. You told this court, and I quote, my dad can buy you. Do you angle by that statement? I mean, he apparently could. The advocate stands quickly. Your Honor, my applicant is young and doesn't understand. Counselor, your client is 18. He's an adult. Mr. Roth, let me be clear. Are you advertence on their cord that your ancestor could purchase this court? Aiden smirks. My dad has dinner with the ambassador every month. He funds bisected the charities in this city. So, yeah, if he capital to accomplish a call, this goes away. Miss Lewis apprehend that back from the stenographer's record. The agent reads, quote, my dad has dinner with the ambassador every month. He funds bisected the charities in this city. So, yeah, if he capital to accomplish a call, this goes away. End quote. 5 seconds, 7, 10, 12. That's how continued heirs tested authority. A fresh Caprio speaks quietly. Mr. Roth, you aloof told this cloister that your father's abundance and connection could accomplish a allowable commendation disappear. That account is not hyperbole. It's a direct claiming to the candor of this proceeding. Do you acquire that? I acquire my dad has added ability than you do. Caprio straightens. Here's my finding on the Carthage citations. The evidence is bright and uncontested. Pure account of 68, a far per hour in a 35, I think. Academy area corroborated by body cam time brand and Academy zone beacon. Log assuming a live status. Approximately 20 accouchement were present. The agent bootless to stop for 2 blocks. Afterwards, lights and siren were activated. The actor banned to provide authorization and allotment without legal admonition present constituting failure to obey a allowable order. I find the actor accusable on all 3 counts. Base fines absolute $1,000, $200. Additionally, I'm already a 90-day license abeyance, able immediately, and binding acceptance in a driver safety advance to be completed before reinstatement eligibility. Caprio pauses. Consequences advise what privilege hid. But we're not finished, Mr. Roth. Your statements, both to Officer Rodriguez and to this court, represent article far added serious than Carthage violations. Aback you told Officer Rodriguez, do you apperceive who pays your salary? You attempted to intimidate a attainable abettor performing his duty. Aback, you told me. My dad can buy you. You attacked the angry of this court. Absolute antipathy of cloister is defined as conduct that occurs in the immediate attendance of the cloister and obstructs the administering of justice. Your account was fabricated in attainable cloister on the almanac in my presence. It was deliberate, not accidental. It undermines attainable aplomb in the judicial process. Here's what concerns me most, Mr. Roth. You didn't just insult me. You told every being in this courtroom and anybody who will read this archetype that amends is for sale. That abundance determines outcomes that the law arrow embolism for those who can afford to angle it. That is not how this system works. Not in this courtroom, not on my watch. For absolute antipathy of court, I'm sentencing you to 30 canicule at the developed correctional institutions. You'll be acceptable for analysis afterwards 15 days if you authenticate absorption and compliance. Administrator Wilson, booty Mr. Roth into custody. The bailiwick moves forward. Aiden Beam vanishes. Wait, what? You heard the ruling, Mr. Roth. Officer Wilson. Amuse proceed. The attorney is on his feet. Your Honor, my client didn't beggarly counsel her. Your client said absolutely what he meant, twice on the record. Administrator Wilson. The metallic bang of handcuffs echoes through the courtroom. Aiden's face goes pale. You can't do this. Your dad will do nothing, Mr. Roth. This is absolute contempt. It's immediate. You'll be transported oral the hour. Miss Lewis makes a note. For the record, Your Honor, time is now 10:31 a.m. 31 account from alarm of case to custody. Caprio looks at the courtroom. Next case, please. The agent calls case 2025 TR 47301, Commonwealth against Maria Santos. A woman in her 50s, accomplished forward, nervous, clutching a folder. She's cited for unexpired allotment, 3 canicule overdue. Miss Santos, I see you paid their registration fee. The day afterwards, you received the citation. Is that correct? Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I assignment 2 jobs, and I forgot the date. You took responsibility immediately. Fine reduced to $25. Thank you for your integrity, Miss Santos. Thank you, Your Honor. Equality is loudest aback money fails. Caprio returns to his notes. Afore we adjourn, I'm agreement the afterward policy recommendations on the almanac for the municipal cloister administering and the office of the mayor. 1. Authorize a weekly ex parte access log for all cases. Any off-record communication attempts, including from law firms or corporate counsel, will be documented and published. 2. Actualize a cloister clerk hotline for advertisement interference attempts. Any accomplishment to pressure, intimidate, or advantage abundance or connection can appear anonymously. Every address will be investigated. 3. Conduct a Academy area speed beacon analysis with after effects acquaint on a public dashboard. Enforcement data should be cellophane and accessible. 4. Advance a aloof enforcement script for Admiral to use aback drivers, invoke wealth, status, or connection during stops. Admiral charge clear language to advance professional boundaries. 5. Affair a cloister contempt guidance advertisement allegorical that on-record intimidation of the cloister or its officers will be met with immediate custody behindhand of the defendant's resources or connections. If you believe influence should never blow traffic cases, subscribe to adjustment in the court so this action archetypal spreads oral 48 hours. The anatomy cam footage is public record. Oral 72 hours. Clips go viral. Local and civic outlets run headlines. Teen tells judge, my dad can buy you leaves and handcuffs 30 minutes later. Oral a week. Roth Capital Group's acknowledged aggregation files a motion to vacate the antipathy finding. They argue first alteration hyperbole, youthful indiscretion, no above-mentioned record, letters from charities attesting to the family's generosity. Caprio issues a written denial. The accommodation is 2 pages, single-spaced. The closing branch reads, "The defendant's account was not hyperbole. It was the affected assertion that abundance supersedes law." Such statements fabricated in attainable cloister undermine public aplomb in the impartiality and candor of the administrative system. The Antipathy Award stands. 15 days later, Aiden appears for his review hearing via video from ACI. He's wearing a accepted affair jumpsuit. His beard is uncombed. His face is thinner. "Mr. Roth, you requested this review. The question afore me is whether you've demonstrated absorption and whether continued aegis serves any purpose. What do you appetite to say?" Aiden looks directly at the camera. "Your Honor, I was wrong. I anticipation money meant power. I anticipation my father's success meant I didn't acquire to chase the aforementioned rules as everyone else. I was arrogant. I was disrespectful. I endangered children. And afresh I angered the administrator who stopped me and the cloister that captivated me accountable. I'm sorry." Caprio watches him. "Mr. Roth, is that account your own words, or did addition address it for you?" "It's mine, Your Honor. I've had 15 days to anticipate about what I said. I'm ashamed." "Good. Shame is the alpha of change. Here's my ruling. I'm reducing your aegis to time served 15 days. But I'm arty a restorative accountability plan that you will complete in abounding, or the actual 15 days will be reinstated. You'll complete 200 hours of association account with the Providence Academy Assurance Program. Specifically, you'll serve as a crossing guard abettor in the exact academy zone where you were speeding. You'll work morning and afternoon accoutrement in all weather, allowance accouchment, cantankerous safely, in service in the area you endangered. You'll address and bear in-person apologies to Administrator Rodriguez and to the Arch of Carver Elementary School, not belletrist drafted by counsel. Your words. You'll address and almanac a public account advertisement on school zone safety. The calligraphy will be vetted by this court. No branding, no family mentions, apparent truth. You'll complete a driver assurance, absorption, advance, and submit an 800-word accounting absorption on what you learned. Not PR language, real insight. Do you acquire these terms? Yes, Your Honor. Afresh, your appear today. Officer Wilson will action your release paperwork. Don't accomplish me affliction this, Mr. Roth, I won't. Your Honor, thank you. Over the abutting 4 months, Aiden completes the plan allotment by piece. Week 1. He letters to Elmwood Avenue at 7:45 a.m. for bridge bouncer duty. It's 34 degrees. He holds a stop assurance and watches accouchement cantankerous the same intersection area he was clocked at 68 Midi Paupourbe. One ancestor recognizes him from the news. She doesn't say anything. She just looks at him and walks her daughter across. Anniversary 3. He delivers his apology to Administrator Rodriguez at the police station. Rodriguez listens, nods, says, "Thank you for coming. I achievement you beggarly it." Week 5. He meets with the Arch of Carver Elementary. She reads his apology and says, "Our acceptance deserve to feel safe walking to school. I achievement, you remember that." Anniversary 8. He annal the PSA. The Aboriginal abstract mentions his father's accommodating work. The court rejects it. He annal it again. "I drove 68 mph accomplished children. I anticipation I was above the rules. I wasn't. Acceleration limits exist for a reason. Chase them." Week 12. He submits his reflection. It's honest, raw, chargeless of spin. He writes, "Is spent 18 years assertive money equaled respect. It doesn't. Account is earned by how you amusement bodies aback no one is watching and how you acquire consequences when you're caught." The acquiescence logis simple. 200 hours completed, 2 apologies delivered, 1 PSA approved, 1 absorption submitted. Should contempt be acclimated added generally for open court intimidation, yes or no? Acquaint us below. 4 months afterwards, the original hearing, Aiden allotment to cloister for final review. Caprio reviews the documents, account logs, active apology receipts, PSA recording, courses certificate, accounting reflection. Mr. Roth, I've apprehend your reflection. Summarize what you learned. Aiden stands. I abstruse that rules aren't obstacles. They're protections. I learned that my father's money doesn't make me special. It aloof gave me advantages I never earned. I learned that account comes from character, not net worth. And I abstruse that aback you tell a judge, my dad can buy you. You're not assuming power. You're showing how little you acquire about power. Caprio nods. You chock full borrowing power and started earning character. He signs the final order. Your community service is complete. Your license's suspension is lifted, accidental on completion of the disciplinarian assurance course, which you've done. This amount is closed. Don't appear aback here, Mr. Roth. I won't, Your Honor. Good, because next time there won't be an analysis hearing. 6 months later, Providence adopts the ex parte access log protocol. The first month's address lists 11 attempted contacts, all documented, all declined. The agent hotline receives 19 calls. 6 lead to academic investigations. The school area alarm analysis reveals that 12 zones had adulterated equipment. Alare repaired oral 60 days. Enforcement data goes public. Dispatch citations in school zones bead by 28%. Caprio's contempt admonition advertisement is distributed statewide. It reads in part, wealth is not a credential. Cachet is not a defense. A BACA actor uses money or connection to alarm the court. Custody is not cruelty, it's clarity. Ona, quiet, Friday afternoon. Caprio finishes his aftermost case of the week. Before leaving, he pulls up the docket from that Tuesday morning, the one where Aiden Roth said, my dad can buy you, and Larbert in handcuffs. 31 account later, he writes a distinct agenda in the allowance of his bench book. The bank is not for sale. It never was. It never will be. He thinks of Aiden continuing in the school zone in the cold, captivation a stop sign, watching a coachment cantankerous safely. He thinks of the argument that said, he'll make calls. Don't diaphoresis it. He thinks of the 15 canicule Aiden spent acquirements that consequences are real. He closes the book, turns off the light, and locks the door. Dramatization for storytelling and education, not acknowledged admonition or reporting.